1007.
$35192. Want to send a text? AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch live there if you like. Brand new Poundcake podcast is up there for your perusal.
Who helped out today?
We will get to a new Poundcake sports break later on in the 5 o'clock hour. In the video department today, thank you so much to Callie Fluggerton.
Oh, there you go.
You know, we got a call a few days ago from somebody who presumed, a girl who presumed that we never have any female.
She tried to do better, Bill Squire. She said, I need to do better.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Nice try. Swing and a miss. Again, we don't presume to place any gender thing. Get off me, man. Mm-hmm. Don't put your trip on me, man. So we don't care. But Callie Fluggerton, who I have on good authority, is female. Thank you so much for helping out on today, the last day of August. Last day to use the word radio for your promo code at CLE Clothing Company. If you're looking to get yourself some new gear for football season, they will have it. Or the dog days of baseball season. Starting tomorrow, brand new keyword is buzz. Somebody suggested to me that maybe that was supposed to be short for buzzard, which is a better explanation than anything else.
That makes sense.
Buzzard would be okay too.
Buzzard.
But buzz, yeah, might very well be short for buzzard. But buzz all through the month of September.
Speaking of which, is there a reason we don't have the Alan Cox Show logo up today? Or are you just feeling
you
the
know
buzzard
what?
today?
I forget. Because I'm in here all morning.
Yeah.
I just forget.
Mm.
Let me put it up because you're absolutely correct. I thought I took care of everything else, and I forgot.
We're still getting into the routine of everything.
That's right. The Alan Cox Show logo.
There
we go. So
There
people
we go.
walking by know what the hell's going on. They go, hey, who's that schmuck talking into the microphone there behind all those video monitors? So starting tomorrow and all of September, buzz will be your keyword, but you can use that 20% off, whatever you get at CLE Clothing Company. So keep that in mind. Guardians will play tonight. They beat the Orioles here at home last night, 5-1, 6-10 tonight and tomorrow. Those are the last two games. So we'll get out of here a couple of minutes early and make way for Guardians baseball. If you listen on the iHeartRadio app, you can always leave us quick messages there.
You guys are giving Poundcake a hard time and questioning when he learned sex ed in health class and his ability to retain knowledge. And at the same time, you're also asking if you can reanimate dehydrated sperm.
What?
Oh my God. Oh.
That's a fake laugh.
It's real.
We were talking yesterday about the lady that made the jewelry out of jizz, right? She dehydrated, and we said, what if you could do? And this is one of my favorite things here about the show, is when we inadvertently troll people. We don't mean to do this, but there are so many things that clearly we're joking about, and people take us seriously. That is one of my favorite things, because this girl calls laughing at us. You guys are so stupid. You think you can No one thinks that, but it makes for a funny bit. So we kind of inadvertently troll people.
I feel like my explanation of you could maybe do it in the Jurassic Park way was pretty scientifically sound.
Yes. So you telling me that I watched Jurassic Park as a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about everybody else, but that's how I do it. Because I don't know what Poundcake's contribution that was. I'm not sure what your question was.
I
but
don't remember what I remember.
Because the woman makes the jewelry by people send her samples through the mail. It's legal to mail semen, internationally no less. And she's up in Canada, and she dehydrates it. Mm-hmm. And so we went on the whole, could they rehydrate it? And, of course, that's absurd. But she thought it was hilarious because she wasn't laughing with us, Cody. She was laughing, wait for it, at us. Okay. She was taking advantage of our good nature to somehow cast herself as greater than us. And I'll tell you this. Are there a lot of people better than me? Yes, most. Is there anyone better than Cody, helpful, Alan Brown? Very few.
No, not at all.
Not at all. This is a guy who's 8 days away from being 30.
Yeah, I'm about to murder you.
By the way, bro, if I could be 8 days away from 30, I'd be running around on all fours.
All right, but
this guy.
But you've been 30. He's never been 30.
Yeah, whatever.
30, and it's just
it ain't nothing.
It's changing. It's just changing a decimal. Like I can't.
You know it's not changing. I mean, what's the decimal that you're changing?
Not changing a decimal.
He's turning from 2.9, Bill, to 3.0. No. Cody's getting he doesn't call them birthdays. He calls them upgrades. That's what he's calling them.
Well, then he should be excited about it.
Yes, an upgrade.
Changing a decimal.
No, not changing a decimal. Changing a diction.
All right, you better call on that one and laugh at him, lady.
Yeah, lady. You ever see that movie Upgrade with the dude that looks like Tom Hardy? You know, that guy, his name's Logan Marshall Green. He was in one of the Alien movies. People always think he's Tom Hardy, but he was in a movie called Upgrade where it was like one of the dudes that did Saw did this kind of sci-fi-ish movie. And they implant him with a chip that like he's paralyzed, but they put a chip in him that he hears a voice. Yeah, and it makes him like a super. Not that many people saw that movie, and I thought it was dynamite. It's probably 3 or 4 years old by now. Called Upgrade. I liked it a lot. There were like two other people. I
remember the trailer. I never actually saw it.
Yeah, it's a Blumhouse movie. They do good stuff. It really kind of came and went. There were like, even when I saw it in the theater, there were like 4 other people in the movie theater. But I never hear anybody talking about that movie, but I dig that movie a lot.
I mean, it's pretty low budget. It's only $3 million budget.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. So I'm driving home last night after the show, and the Crocker Park exit is my exit. And I'm going to pick up some food for the family. So I'm in the left lane. And
what kind of food?
I shan't say. But
you don't have to say the place. You can just say what kind of food.
Salads. And so there's a better answer that I could have offered. Is like, we got big, sloppy fried tacos. Now you're talking. Yeah. No, salads.
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
And so I'm in, it's a red light, and I'm about 4 cars back. 2 cars in front of me, a guy leaps out of the driver's side, and he's feverishly trying to put a sign in the shoulder there, right? He's got a business or something. But you know those signs that people just put in their yards where it's like the metal pins that go in? You know, the frame looks like an H.
Yeah, just like a little yard sign.
Like a yard sign, sure. And I guess the shoulder was maybe rockier or something than he had anticipated, because you don't know. He's just trying to get the word out. He's the guy doing some signs at the off-ramp. You see him all the time. Somebody's got to put those there. And
I feel like that's a odd time of day to do it.
Yeah, go out at midnight.
Yeah, that's not prime time for putting signs out because it's going to be busy. I mean, that is basically rush hour over there.
Yes. Yeah. And this guy's racing against the clock because he doesn't know how long this red is going to be. It's traditionally a long-ish red, but he doesn't know. And so he hops out. That is a long
red there.
Huh?
That is a long red over there at Crocker Park.
And he hops out, and I can see he's really trying to jab this thing in, and it's not doing anything. And so he reflexively gets back in the car, and he goes, no, I'm going to try it again. So he gets out with a sign. He's standing there, and he's turning around over his shoulder, looking to see if the light's changed. Light hasn't changed yet. And I'm going, please, light change, so all these cars will start honking at this guy. And he's jabbing it into the ground, and he finally gets it in there and gets back in his car just in time for the light to turn green. So no harm, no foul. And I'm thinking, man, this must be an amazing business. And it was for trash bin cleaning. That's his business. I'm like, you mean like a hose? Because that's what I use.
So they have a business.
A hose?
Because most places now have city-issued trash bins.
Yes.
And his business is just spraying those out for you?
Well, I imagine that if you're going to have a business, it's probably a little bit more sophisticated than that, but I don't know who needs a sophisticated trash can cleaning. I hose mine out with a hose. But again, listen, I love the entrepreneurial spirit. This guy had these signs made up. He's out. Who knows how many red lights he's trying to race through to get these things in the ground.
Maybe he's onto something.
Every time this guy stops, he might hop out. He get a little local notoriety for himself. He's the hop out guy.
I like that this is
You know
also,
how Chick Willis is the stoop down man? This is the hop out guy.
This is like a very specific, because he probably has a power washer, but I feel like you could use that power washer for so many, cleaning driveways and sidewalks, things like that people want power wash. And he said, nah, too much. It's oversaturated there. I'm going to concentrate on spraying out people's garbage bins.
And listen, I have a power washer. Like, that's an item that a lot of people might have in their own home. And I understand most business is based on the fact that I'll do this so you don't have to do this. Of course, you could do it yourself, no matter how simple a task. Let me do it. And that's all this is, and that's fine. I hope they're successful. I just thought it was funny after all that, as the light turns green and we're all pulling into the intersection, I look at the sign and I go, really? That's, because a lot of times it's, we'll buy your house. No matter what piece of crap you're living in, we'll buy your house right now. But I was like, well, I own a hose. You're never going to believe this. I own multiple hoses. I know you guys give me a hard time for making a decent living. What that living has provided me and my family is multiple hoses. Everybody has their status symbols. We've talked about this before. We were talking about it the other day. Poundcake said there are some people who would rather spend $1,800 a month on some sweet-ass ride, and they live in a hovel, right?
Correct.
They're living in squalor, but they got this nice ride they're tooling around town. That's what's important to them.
It's all about.
I'm not a car guy. I don't have a massive house. I don't need that. Don't want that. I peacock by my hose inventory. That's how I've
checking all these hoses.
That's how I've opted to do it. I mean, you can't go 10 feet around Casa Cox and not have a hose within arm's reach, because I never know at what point I'm going to need a steady stream of water pointed in a particular direction. So yes, does it seem frivolous? I'm very much not a frivolous person, but I'll tell you what. Does it seem frivolous that I want to show off with all my hoses? That's for you to decide. That's not my concern.
Now, do you just have them in your house, or do you have some that you maybe keep in Chicago or up with your kids in Michigan and perhaps other areas?
I wouldn't mention where all of my hoses are, because I don't want to blow up anybody's spot. But yes, I have people, acquaintances, they know who they are, who are holding on to some of my hoses. So if, as they say online, SHTF, I will know where my hoses are. And so, no, I don't have. I used to have a storage unit at home in Chicago that was floor-to-ceiling hoses. But I had to take a long, hard look at myself. This is probably, you talk about turning 30. That was my version of my midlife crisis at 30. It's like, just stop with the hoses.
How many hoses do you have, Poundcake?
Several.
Do you really? Do you have any hoses?
He rents a room in a house.
He rents the whole
I have the
upstairs.
whole
But you don't. Do you have a management company that does the lawn stuff?
Yes.
Right. So no one in your house even has. You don't need to mow the lawn or
Pretty sure we have a
hose anything.
Pretty sure we have a hose.
Do you?
And if we don't have a hose, I got hose that have hose.
I've got hose that have hose.
I've got hose.
Right.
Hoses in area.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's true too.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, you should have one.
I think so.
And let me tell you this. You know what? Since your birthday is coming up, if you don't have one, you want one, I'll give you one of mine.
Oh, you got to use hose.
Well, I'll lease it to you. Y'all have an option to buy.
I'll borrow your hose for sure.
Let's see.
You want to give me that for my 30th birthday? Because that would cheer me right up.
A hose.
Yeah, he's talking about
Here's
the hose.
Yeah.
Cheer me right up. I'll perk. These little ears will perk up.
Poundcake kind of quiet today.
What did Alan give you for your birthday? It's what he didn't give me that's so important. Is he kind of quiet?
I feel like he's kind of quiet
I don't
today.
know him ever to be. You mean his volume
His
level?
volume, yes. Maybe
How
I
about
just have
now?
my headphones a little bit too low.
Okay.
Still getting used to everything here.
I was like, I'm at the same pot I usually am.
Okay. Just checking.
I'll turn myself up louder, no problem.
Please
you
don't.
dare.
Don't.
I was
do
asking
that.
Alan, not you.
Okay. Jesus. Still get no respect here. When I change another decimal,
Respect is earned.
You guys are gonna respect me.
Yeah, haven't you heard LeBron? Nothing is given. Everything is earned.
Do you know
Blah,
he-
blah, blah.
Do you know he's just a kid from Akron?
LeBron James is
Yeah.
from Akron?
Yeah,
So
he's
is
just
Steph
a-
Curry.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
No.
You know, he should tell people that. That'd really garner him some local goodwill.
I think he tells people pretty regularly.
He does?
Uh-huh.
Well, I've never met the man, but I'll tell you what, if I ever do interview LeBron James, I will ask him, so where'd you grow up? You know, like I'll have no idea. I like to go in cold. I don't like to know too much about people. You think you're out there working hard, Ohio. You are not. And I hate to be the one to break it to you. They did the hardest working states in the United States based on how many days off they took. Across a dozen indicators, they ranked every single state. How many hours a week you work, how much time you take off, how many jobs you work, annual volunteer hours, right? You're filling up your time working. And they ranked every one of the 50 states. We came in 42nd. So I don't want to hear any of this nonsense about how hard you're working, because you are not. North Dakota is working harder than everyone else.
Really?
Up on them oil rigs.
Oh, that makes sense. Those are long
Alaska,
hours.
number 2.
Long hours up
Oil rigs. Everybody's working. Well, not everybody's working harder than us. 8 states are slacking more than we are. New Jersey, and I was just there, I can confirm. Massachusetts.
Because they have to have people pump their gas for them, so they're going to be working more hours.
I think that makes you, that. Plus, you're spending a lot of your time going to the gym, tanning,
GTL,
and
if you count that.
doing your laundry. Connecticut, West Virginia, Michigan, New York, Rhode Island, and the very least hardest working state is New Mexico. But if you've ever been out there, it's a gorgeous part of the country. You don't want to work. I remember the very first job I was ever offered in radio, and I didn't take it, and I really ducked a bullet by not taking it. But at the time, I had the wherewithal to realize that I wasn't ready. But I got offered a job to do mornings at a radio station in Key West because I knew a guy who was the station manager. And it would turn out later on that he had been embezzling from the company.
Ooh.
And he was fired, and it was a whole thing. So if
Wait,
I had
are you not supposed to embezzle from the company?
Bill, see me after the show.
I might need to not see you after the show.
We don't call it embezzling around here. Remember those code words we came up with?
Oh, the bonuses.
Yes, bonuses. Self-obtained bonuses
There we
is what we
go.
refer
Yeah.
to them. But I was offered a job in Key West, and I said, oh, man, I wanted to jump right into the biz, whatever. But I was like, no, because it was one of those things where he's like, well, you get paid in sunshine. Because he had a really hard time getting people to be productive in a place like Key West because it's a vacation place. But there's people living there and working there. And I'm like, well, I can't go to a radio station where, like, the salespeople are, smoking weed on the beach all day long. I can't do that.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
And it's expensive to live there. At least it was 30 years ago. It's probably more expensive now.
There's a
And I
good
wasn't going
chance.
to be making any money, so it's, you don't think that the median home values have stayed exactly the same in Key West, Florida?
I mean, they definitely didn't go down.
Right. So anyway, get to work, Ohio. I don't know what to tell you. Number 42 out of 50 is nothing to crow about. We don't even show up on these breakdown lists, like average work hours, employment rate. I mean, the employment rate's not great, but that's no one's fault. Not your fault, at least. But how hard you work is absolutely up to you. Idaho is smack dab in the middle at number 25. So maybe you don't care that you're getting your ass kicked by New Hampshire.
Hey, I'm happy to be in a hardly working state. There's the
Working
harder,
hard or
hardly working.
hardly working.
Let's be hardly working.
Well, all right. I mean, Illinois and California are no great shakes either. They're right down there with us. So, everybody's like, I work all the... No, you don't. You're number 42. Alan, you're a big contributor with all the days you take off. Well, that's true, but I have earned my days off. A lot of people have.
I earned my days off.
We were talking about people taking days off or something a few days ago, and somebody texted and they're like, plenty of people get as much time off as you. And I was like, you sure wouldn't think so, as much as people whine when I'm gone. I mean, I appreciate that. I prefer that to...
They just miss you.
I prefer that to indifference. That is absolutely true. But I have days that I am contractually required to take off. Alan, we were on the Jersey Shore the same week you were. Did you have those big black and orange flies on the beach? They didn't bite, but they wouldn't leave us alone. No, we didn't have that.
Black and orange flies.
Ew.
Yeah, didn't have that.
I don't remember that.
There's all kinds of beach bugs, but where we were at Normandy Beach. No, we didn't have anything like that. There's a lot of beach erosion going on out there because Sandy blew through there a long time, 10 years ago. But no, we had a great time. A lot of baby jellyfish that will roll up onto the shore, though. And you'll see dolphins not that far off in the distance. That was nice. They're called lantern flies, and apparently they're an invasive species that destroys crops. Well, that is the big problem, though.
The sea crops.
I was planting my peas and turnips along the shoreline there, and people were like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm just planting my crops here at the beach."
Try to make up for all the ones that the flies destroyed.
Haven't you heard of the invasive species? And I said, "Listen, my lettuce is doing fine just up the way here, but my peas and turnips, boy, they just gobbled them up."
Have you seen?
No, I didn't see any of those there.
Have you seen Corn Boy?
Corn Boy?
Yeah, he's a viral sensation.
Nope.
He loves corn. All right, I'm going to find it and send it to you, and we'll play it when we come back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you'll love Corn Boy.
Are you setting me up, or is
No,
it?
No, it's
this
like
is a guy.
This is just a little kid that loves corn. And,
I did see the little black kid.
Yeah, little black
I
kid
did
that
see
loves
that
corn.
kid.
Yeah.
Now, is that organic or?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
I think they did one thing with him, and it was such a hit that they interviewed him again, and they did the corn dance, and they made like a Corn Boy song. But Corn Boy's hilarious, and he's just like a sweet little kid that just loves corn. He loves the sharing corn and dancing about corn. It's Corn Boy.
Okay. Let me take a break here. If you'd like to get a text in, 35192. If you want to go see In This Moment, I will have a couple of tickets for you after the break. September 21, they're playing the Agora.
The Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app.